Hello there, this is Carlo. Welcome to another After Effects tutorial, and what I'm going to be doing today is teaching you guys how to put a hole in your floor, which is quite weird but still pretty good effect. So let me import my footage. Okay, so I've got basically very simple footage of basically my living room, and basically I'm going to be placing a hole right here in my floor. So let me just RAM preview that, and as you can see, while I was RAM previewing, I placed two pieces of paper on the floor, and the reason why I've done that is to basically give me something to track. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to move my timeline just where I can see my second track, so about there. I'm going to trim to comp work area, or trim to the comp work area, and I'm going to come up to animate, and I'm going to track motion, and I'm just going to open this track point up here, and basically just zoom in and just place that on my track point. Come down to here, click on rotate, which is going to give me a second track point, and I'm just going to basically move this one over here to my second piece of paper and just zoom out so you can see what I'm doing. And basically I'm going to right click, new null object, which is here. I'm going to edit my target, make sure null one selected, click OK, and analyze forward. Now because you put your pieces of paper on the floor, or your reference shall I say, it's going to give the camera tracker something to work with, so you're going to get a much better track. So I'm just going to wait for that to track, and then we'll bring our hole in as well. So that's nearly done. Nearly done. See, the track is pretty good because of the piece of paper. Always try to use a reference, whether it's a marker pen or something on the object that you want to track. Okay, so that's done. So click apply, X and Y, click OK, and we should have our track points in position. Right, now I want to close all this gobbledygook up, and I've got a picture of a hole somewhere that I'm going to use, which is here. I'm going to drop that into my comp, which is there. I want to bring that on top like so. It's nothing special, and I'm going to click my pen tool, and basically I'm just going to mask around the outside of the hole, getting all the cracks in. Doesn't have to be perfect because I'm going to feather this out as well. So just go around the outside of it, giving it some sort of edge. Like I say, it's not going to be perfect, but it's going to be there. If you feel like you're not happy with it, then you can sort of bring it all in, so on and so on. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make this a 3D layer, this hole, and basically what I'm going to do is I'm just going to play around with it and just try and put it into position. I'm going to hit S on the keyboard, and I'm just going to scale that down and sort of bring it to about there. Maybe rotate it a touch like so. About there, I'll say. Over, maybe just scale it up just a bit, just to give it some depth, like so. Very simply, I'm going to parent that hole with my null object. Now, bring it back, and that's tracked quite nicely. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit my hole F on the keyboard, and I'm just going to feather it up just a touch. So we've got some sort of definition, as you can see, around the edge of the hole. As you can see, you know, ignore the masking or the tape measure, because that's just, I think this is sort of like the best hole. I'm going to feather it up just some more, like so. So we've got the crack here. But what you can do, guys, is you can select your mask back, and then you can sort of just sort of play around with your edges really, and sort of bring that sort of up, you know, like so, and just play around with the edge of your hole, like so, just to make it look a little bit better. Right, so that don't look too bad, as you can see. It's tracked quite nicely. So now basically it's a case of fixing this bit here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to reselect this, and then basically I'm just going to bring that right sort of in, and maybe just bring my feathering down just a touch, like so. Take this off just to have a look. Okay, so that don't look too bad. As you can see, we've got a hole. Now let's do some grading, color correction. So I'm going to right click, come up to effects, color correction, curves, and basically what I'm going to do is I'm just going to play around with the RGB just a bit, just to give it some sort of like it's a little bit lighter. Play around with the so you can actually see it's actually part of the room and not just you know, something we've created. Oh, that's wrong. Let's just bring that down just a touch. This is the effect we're looking at here. If you can just see here, just here, you can see, you know, it does look like it's actually part of the floor, which is cool. Actually looks like it. So let's just bring that around. Right, so the better quality of the hole, obviously, the better you're going to get with the actual effect itself. But as you can see, it doesn't look too sad. This is sort of like messing it up just a little bit. So what you can do, if you've got something like you know, Action Essentials or something like that, which come with debris and stuff like that, you can sort of add that to your scene. So let me just remember where I've got all my bits. Let's go to the documents, Action Essentials, gallery. No, that's not what I want. Action Movie Essentials. Let's use Action Essentials 2 actually. Video thumbnails, debris. So, I mean, this is all sort of video footage, but you know, you sort of, you know, if you go online and look up, I mean, this is literally where I've got the thing. Let's go debris. Debris here, and then basically you can sort of scroll around and just look for, say for instance, a little bit of rock, just to place in your scene. Like for instance, this bit here, you could probably use, if I have to save that image, you know, it's sort of using what you've got, if that makes sense, using what is available to you, and you can sort of, you know, drop that on if you wanted, make that into a sort of a 3D layer. Let's just rotate that. Obviously you're going to have to mask this as well, and maybe sort of bring this out here. Let's get our mask tool and maybe sort of bring this around. Right, so just mask this bit out here. Maybe sort of, I don't know, sort of move this to here. Like so, F on the keyboard, and then just basically feather it out. Sort of put it into sort of like a position you want it in. and just basically play around with the overall look. Don't forget to sort of parent it to your null object this. So let's get the width and just parent that to null 1. So you know when you sort of move it, it's going to be absolutely fine. You know it's going to be attached to your object. So you can color grade this as well, or maybe sort of push that sort of into the scene. If you sort of bring this below the rock itself, you can sort of match it up to your scene as you see fit. So that's basically it, guys. That's basically how you do it. Let's further that sort of right down. Let's click on this and just basically playing around with the object itself and the effects itself, just to sort of make it look as realistic as possible. So basically that's it, guys. I hope this has been useful. And it can help you with some of your techniques. I mean, you can use this outside, inside, anything you want. As always, guys, thanks for listening, and I'll see you in the next tutorial. Ciao, ciao, guys.